Coming up on Hoosier Sports Night, the men's soccer season comes down to the wire.
And volleyball sweeps the state of Michigan. This is Hoosier Sports Night.
Hello and welcome to Hoosier Sports Night. I'm Brianna Ballog.
And I'm Aidan Mettel.
Aidan, do you plan on going to the men's basketball exhibition game on Saturday?
I'm unfortunately not going, but I'm excited for the start of the season.
Yeah, it should be a good one. But let's talk about IU men's soccer. They had a tough weekend falling to number 2 Kentucky 3-0 this past weekend. Our IUS TV sports reporter Amanda Foster has more.
The classic Indiana-Kentucky rivalry match left much to be desired from Indiana fans as the Hoosiers fell to the number 2 Wildcats Saturday night. The Wildcats dominated the majority of the game to finish with a final score of 3-0. And while the Hoosiers outshot their rivals 8-6, they weren't able to capitalize on their numerous chances.
And stats can be misleading, but the game felt like it was tight. It was, but then to look at the stats, I mean, we had every margin, and you just don't see usually 3-0 scorelines.
While both teams had many opportunities off of restarts and Indiana was consistently threatening, the Hoosiers weren't able to find the back of the net. Foul calls and corner kicks set them up well, but that final push was missing.
That's where the first half I was like, man, where did we miss these key passes? We got into the right spots. We had territory. It was just that last decision. And again, they're a good team, so some of it's just some good defending.
Entering the second half down by 1 goal, Indiana couldn't find consistent energy for the rest of the match. They lacked communication on the pitch, and motivation seemed to dwindle as the clock ran down, and key players couldn't convert their chances.
You know, Herb and Wittenbrink, both were 2 tonight that credit their outside backs were very good, similar to what they might say to their 2 wide guys. They didn't get a lot, you know, and maybe we needed to get a little fortunate. Maybe we turned them over one time when they're out of shape. I thought we were close on a few. Right when we did, we didn't make the pass.
There were positive takeaways from the big matchup, and in the long run, Indiana's postseason hopes won't be largely affected.
It was more, let's not get caught up in the score. This game's not going to hurt us. It would have helped us a lot. Our back line defended really well. I mean, their front 4 are very good. I mean, the 3 players that scored for them are their internationals, and they're clever. They don't need a lot of chances, and that showed tonight.
Indiana's next home game is against Trine University on Thursday. From Bloomington, I'm Amanda Foster, IUS TV Sports.
After the loss at home, IU had hopes to get another non-conference win against Evansville on Tuesday, but unfortunately tied 1-1. With the lone goal coming from Tommy Mahalik, the Hoosiers were unable to hold on to that lead and let the Purple Aces get back in the game. The Hoosiers play Trine tonight and will then wrap up the regular season against Maryland on Sunday for a potential shot at a share of the Big Ten regular season title. Follow along with Kara Adams, Amanda Foster, and Aidan Mettel for all the updates.
Indiana volleyball traveled up north to take on both the Wolverines and Spartans over the weekend. On Friday, the Hoosiers faced the number 25 ranked Michigan Wolverines in Ann Arbor. After a slow start, the Hoosiers stormed back and won in 4 sets, taking down their first-ranked opponent of the season and first-ranked conference win in 9 years. On Sunday, the Hoosiers took on the Michigan State Spartans in search of the season sweep. Led by freshman hitter Candela Alonso Corceles with a .429 hitting percentage, the Hoosiers outlasted the Spartans in 5 sets and earned their 3rd consecutive conference win for the first time since 2014. The Hoosiers faced the Rutgers Scarlet Knights at Wilkinson Hall on Friday, and then on Sunday, traveled to in-state rival Purdue, looking to avenge their 5-set loss from 2 weeks ago. Follow along with Andy Manzer, Gabe Fencer, Spencer Hoffman, and Michael Livingston for all things Indiana volleyball.
The men's basketball season is finally upon us, with their first exhibition match happening this weekend. There's lots of anticipation about this year, and joining us at the desk to talk more about it is our very own Josh Bode. How you doing, Josh?
I'm very good, especially after that awesome Bears win on Monday.
And did you see today they just traded Robert Quinn?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I'm going to miss watching him. But on to Indiana men's basketball. There's plenty of optimism surrounding Indiana basketball this season. One of the reasons, that would be incoming freshman Malik Renew.
The Indiana basketball freshman class this season is deep and talented, ranking in the top 10 of recruiting rankings. One freshman, Malik Renew, stood out to his teammates over the summer.
Guarding him every day is not cake. I mean, I have to really get down and guard him. And it's fun trying to guard him because it's a challenge. I mean, I'm sure somebody's going to be all Big Ten first team and all that. So he's a really talented freshman. I'm really excited to watch him grow over this year.
These compliments do not go unnoticed to Renew.
It means a lot that my team is, helping me build my confidence and knowing that they can rely on me and to help the team out in many ways, whether it's, rebounding, setting screens, and it doesn't have to be, what I'm used to doing and scoring, because I can help the team out in many different ways.
One of those ways is the versatility of his game.
Being able to be versatile on the court is a big factor to playing for Woodson. So that's a good thing for me. Being able to handle the ball, step out if I need to, be in the post, be a screen and roller type of guy.
And the freshman summer has been about more than just basketball. All 4 freshmen live together and have created a bond off the court.
I call it the Big Four, but it's been great building a relationship with CJ, Caleb. I already knew Fino, so the bond we built has just been amazing. I mean, we all live together, so we see each other every day.
The bond is not the only thing that has traveled off the court. The competitiveness has too. Instead of with basketball, it's with video games.
Big trash talkers, they like to play Madden, 2K, UFC, all those type of games on PS5.
Who wins these games? Renew was quick to tell.
But winning a couple Madden games, a couple 2K games, they don't play me no more. So
from Bloomington, I'm Josh Bode for IUS TV Sports.
Renew and the rest of the freshmen will bring their chemistry to the hardwood on Saturday for an exhibition match against Marian University. The regular season begins on November 7 against Morehead State. Brianna, Aidan, back to you.
Thanks, Josh. Can't wait to see what he brings to the table. The Indiana women's soccer team hosted the Maryland Terrapins in a close match this past Thursday. IUS TV beat reporter Ryan Costello has the scoop on the Hoosiers' final home game.
The Indiana women's soccer team closed out their last home game of the 2022 season with a 1-0 loss to the Maryland Terrapins. The Hoosiers' offense started off strong by getting 3 shots on goal within the first 10 minutes. However, they were not able to sustain the momentum offensively throughout the entire game.
It was a game for us that we, probably should have done much better and didn't. And I think the quality on the ball we showed wasn't good enough.
With the game stopping and starting very frequently, it was hard for the Hoosiers' offense and defense to find a flow.
Well, I think the game just didn't have any flow on both sides, so that had no effect on the result. But I think she just killed all the flow of the game, to be honest. And there was nothing, no rhythm, no nothing.
The Terrapins and the Hoosiers were tightly knotted in a defensive battle the entire time. It was not till there was 5 minutes left in the game that Maryland would take the lead with a game-winning goal.
So we give the goal away. It was a mistake in midfield, not defending it well, and just giving up right through the middle. Such an easy goal. So, it's not good enough defending, and especially at that moment late in the game, it's just not good enough.
From Bloomington, I'm Ryan Costello, IUS TV Sports.
Following this loss, the Indiana women's soccer team claimed their first Big Ten victory, 1-0, the Sunday following their Maryland loss against the Michigan Wolverines in Ann Arbor. While the women's soccer season has come to a close, be sure to follow along with Josie Broyles, Ryan Costello, and Kelsey Dennehy for any off-season updates.
Both the men's and women's swim and dive teams traveled to Austin to take on number 2 and 3 ranked Texas and number 15 and 22 ranked Texas A&M. In the 1,000 freestyle, Maria Denigan defeated 2020 Olympic silver medalist Erica Sullivan to take home first place. Brendan Burns is the defending NCAA champion in the 200 butterfly and won 3 events on Friday: the 200 butterfly, the 200 backstroke, and the 100 butterfly. Both the men's and women's teams defeated Texas A&M, but ultimately fell to 2 top 3 Texas teams. The Hoosiers will be in action at home for the first time this season on Saturday as they face Missouri.
Indiana football is on a bye this week after yet another tough performance against the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Our IUS TV sports beat reporter Riley Woodall joins us in the studio to break down the Hoosiers' continued struggles this past Saturday. Riley?
Thanks, guys. The Hoosiers lost their 5th straight game to the Rutgers Scarlet Knights on Saturday, 24-17. After going up 14-0 in the first quarter, Indiana gave up the next 24 points to Rutgers. The offense continues to struggle finding a consistent rhythm, only scoring 10 total points for the second time this season. And in a tough Big Ten conference with the likes of Ohio State and Michigan, you have to be able to take advantage of momentum and find a way to turn drives into points. The nail in the coffin came in the fourth quarter. Bazelak backed up in his own end zone. The pressure gets home, and the pick six puts it away for the Knights. This is an offensive line who held up pretty well against the Maryland Terrapins a week ago, but a different story this past weekend in a hostile environment. The play calling has probably been the most questionable element of this team, with multiple 3-and-outs, tackles for loss, turnovers, you name it. And to top it all off, the Hoosiers just can't stay healthy across the board, and the wide gap between starter and reserve is apparent. With all the adversity, the bye week could either be exactly what the Hoosiers need to turn it around, or it could be the same old song come November 5th when number 13 Penn State rolls into town. Back to you guys at the desk.
Coming up after the break, we get on the grind with the water polo team.
And we crown our Hoosier Highlight Athlete of the Week. You're watching Hoosier Sports Night.
Welcome back to Hoosier Sports Night.
IUS TV sports reporter Ashley Voss joins us in the studio with a special segment on an up-and-coming water polo team looking to make a splash this season. Ashley?
The leaves are changing and temperatures are colder, which can only mean one thing: winter is coming. And one team is aiming to make waves across the nation starting this December. Coach McInerney's water polo squad aimed to build on their past 15-15 season. I had the pleasure of going to a practice and getting to know the 2023 team on a more personal level. Take a look.
Ready? 3, 2, hustle, hustle, baby. Woohoo! High five. Far out. Robin, you did heavy stuff.
Yeah, stronger than you, man.
Hey, whoa, 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 whoa. That was my warm-up. I don't do well under pressure, not gonna lie. They 100% chose me because I'm Australian and add diversity. Who wants to listen to Americans all day? Say it.
The world is your oyster.
The world is your oyster. I'm saying lots of random things. I'm getting really intimate with the camera. It's kind of like my therapy. Oh, so many decisions to make. I'm just contemplating life right now. Internships, summer jobs. Oh, shucks, thanks. It's like scene descriptions. Grace awkwardly walks up to me and gives me the shuckers, and I give it back.
You're leaving those shoes on? don't use. I'm a liability. Thanks, Robin. Appreciate the help. Kidding. Everyone's always very supportive. That's what IU water polo does. Oh yeah, Woz. She got that big chain, big chain. Well, I wanted some Nardo Wick in there too. What? Some Nardo Wick. You should be familiar with him by now. Oh yeah, my boy. I've never had a New Year's kiss. Who wants to be my New Year's kiss? 3, 2, da 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 da. So, I got excited because it's my favorite song.
I need a better song to rap to. I'm not.
Next song request, I'll get it. What do you want?
Slim Shady. I don't know a lot of rap.
Eminem?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yes.
Eminem?
Nothing, you idiot. Dr. Dre step. Nothing like Dre step.
I need some more different music.
Just like me. Just go. Me. Oh, censor myself. Slick Slim Shady.
It never came. I heard Da Da Da, so I'm not complaining. And Burnin' Up. But then Eminem, the same song, played 6 times in a row.
You want to say anything?
Oh, hey guys, welcome to the IU Water Polo Mic'd Up Weight Room segment. Woo! Presented by ISU TV.
Yeah!
While they were training hard, they seemed to laugh even harder during lifting. The 2 players featured in this segment represented just a fraction of the young talent on this team. Last season, Skylar Kidd ranked 4th among her teammates, earning 47 points, and was 3rd in goals and assists. Very impressive for her freshman year. Jasmine Higgs is an incoming freshman goalie for this team, coming all the way from Sydney, Australia. This former wrestler turned water polo player will provide support in the cage for starting goalkeeper Mary Askew. The Indiana women's water polo team will plunge into their season on January 20th against UCLA. If you don't want to travel all the way to California for the game, be sure to attend their first home game against Villanova on January 28th, or tune into Hoosier Sports Night for plenty more coverage from me and IUS TV Sports coming this winter. Brianna, Aidan, back to you.
Thanks, Ashley. Deborah Tobias Field saw the last home game for the Indiana field hockey team this past Sunday. We have our Kennedy Recklau with the story.
It was senior day at Deborah Tobias Field on Sunday as Indiana field hockey hosted the Ohio University Bobcats. The Hoosiers came out aggressive, putting up 7 shots on goal in just the first period. The first period had a lot of back and forth possessions, capped off with a goal by Sofia Arevole Garcia to put Indiana ahead 1-0. The second half was action-packed with the Hoosiers dominating offensively.
We changed our press a little bit to put more pressure on their backfield, win the ball a little bit higher up the field, so it created, more numbers we had to go through to get to the goal, but I think that in the end we were able to change the point of attack really well rather than go straight to goal and get in behind in the baseline.
The Bobcats defense, including goalkeepers Lotz and Grainer, kept the match close until the fourth period. The fourth period started off with a goal by Laura Moritz, her first of the season. After a missed penalty in the third, Indiana took advantage of another penalty opportunity, gaining a goal by Sydney Keld. Indiana took away a victory 3-0 on a special day honoring the seniors and their contributions to the program.
I think it feels really awesome. After the last couple weeks, we've had some tough games, so being able to just play with everyone, I feel like everyone on the team got opportunity today to have a piece in it, so I think it was really awesome.
I think the senior class is special for us. For me personally, I think when I arrived, they were freshmen, and so they've been with me the whole time, going through building this program and creating the culture that we want to create.
We're a really young team, so I think it's really special to see what we're building and how we've all kind of come together, and also that everyone has bought in, and it's made it really enjoyable and just exciting. Everyone wants to be here, and we're all working towards a similar goal, and I think that's really special.
The Hoosiers will be back in action this Friday for their last home game against Northwestern. For IUS TV Sports, I'm Kennedy Recklau.
The Indiana men's golf team closed off their fall competition in 9th place out of 10 at the Williams Cup this past weekend in Wilmington, North Carolina. While the team as a whole struggled, junior Drew Salyers soared to victory, claiming his second first-place individual win in a row. Salyers claimed the competition with his third-round performance that held 7 birdie conversions. The next highest individual scorer was fifth-year senior Mitch Davis, who tied for 28th place. The Hoosiers will take a break from play until they travel to Hammock Beach, Florida for a February 4th Big Ten match play tournament. For all things men's golf, be sure to follow along with Hank Joseph, Kelsey Dennehy, and Kennedy Recklau for updates and more.
The women's golf team completed their fall season at the Old Stone Intercollegiate Invitational in Bowling Green, Kentucky on Tuesday. The Hoosiers finished in 6th place out of 13 teams, which was their best team finish of the season thus far. Junior Domika Berdova led the Hoosiers in a tie for 10th place at 6 over. She tied for the tournament lead on par 3s at 2 under. Indiana finished their fall season with a top 10 finisher in all 4 tournaments they competed in. Senior Valerie Clancy finished second on the team at 9 over in a tie for 20th place. The Hoosiers' next tournament will not be until February at the FAU Paradise Invitational.
The Indiana women's tennis team competed in the ITA Ohio Valley Regional Championships this past week. In singles, Lauren Lemons beat Lucia Garrigues Melendez from the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga in a 3-set thriller, 4-6, 7-6, 6-2. Redshirt freshman Laura Schneider defeated Camila Soares of the University of Miami to advance to the round of 32. In doubles, Rose Hu and Lemons defeated UTC's Abel and Garrigues Melendez in a nail-biting match. Schneider and Sabi Nialani defeated Snells and Zinn of Louisville 8-7. The team will compete tomorrow in the Roberta Allison Fall Classic in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Joining us in the studio for this week's Hoosier Highlight is IUS TV sports reporter William Stewart. Well,
thanks, Brianna and Aidan. The Hoosier Highlight Athlete of the Week is women's volleyball player Maddie Saris. The sophomore outside hitter from Canada has had nothing short of an amazing season so far for the Hoosiers. Her 348.5 points in the season put her at 6th in the Big Ten, and her 3.7 kills a set have her at 5th. More importantly, this past weekend, she recorded 16 kills over the 25th ranked team in the country, the Michigan Wolverines. Only 2 days later, Saris piled up another 15 kills up in East Lansing to help propel the Hoosiers past Sparty. With Saris's play for the first time since 1989, yes, over 30 years ago, an IU volleyball team has won at Michigan and Michigan State in the same season. Hopefully Saris and the ladies can keep it up through their next 2 matches against Rutgers and Purdue. And that's all for Hoosier Highlight this week. Back to you at the desk.
And that's our show for the week. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at IUSTV Sports to keep up with all the latest in IU athletics. For our production crew behind us, I'm Aidan Mettel.
And I'm Brianna Ballog. We'll see you next week.